When my friend Devin first suggested we try the mannequin challenge, I thought he was joking. The latest stupid internet fad, freezing in place like a mannequin while someone films you, sounded bizarre to me, but Devin was obsessed with getting more views on his YouTube channel. He was convinced a mannequin challenge video would double his subscribers overnight. Against my better judgment, I agreed to help him film it. He recruited 3 of our other friends, Jen, Connor, and Sam. The plan was we'd sneak into the old abandoned Victorian house on the edge of town and film inside. A creepy, atmospheric location was key. We figured no one would care if a few teenagers trespassed there. When we arrived at the house, I started having second thoughts. It looked straight out of a horror movie. Peeling paint, broken windows, sagging porch. A no trespassing sign hung crookedly on the gate. "I don't know about this, Devin. Maybe we should find another place," I suggested. But Devin was already hurrying up to the front door. "Don't worry, we won't get caught," he said. "People sneak in here all the time. I know a loose board in the back we can get through." Reluctantly, I followed him around the side of the house. He pried away a splintered plank of wood to reveal a hole big enough to crawl through. Jen scrambled in first, then Sam, then Connor. I took a deep breath and hoisted myself inside. A thick layer of dust coated every surface. Our footsteps echoed through the empty rooms as we searched for the perfect spot to film. The deeper we explored, the heavier the air felt. Dark shapes seemed to move at the edge of my vision. I couldn't shake the uneasy sense that we were being watched. In the front parlor, heavy velvet drapes blocked most of the daylight. It was dim but still bright enough to film. Devin quickly set up his camera on a tripod while the rest of us planned our poses. "All right, everyone, you know the drill. Strike a mannequin pose and don't move a muscle until I say so," Devin said. He clicked record, then hurried into place next to Jen. I tried to push down my nerves as I struck my pose. I stood sideways, one arm raised up, eyes wide and mouth open dramatically. The only sound was the hum of the camera. That's when I saw it, a human-shaped shadow creeping along the wall behind Sam. I tried not to flinch. Must be a trick of the light, I told myself. But chills ran down my spine as the shadowy figure moved closer. It was no optical illusion. This was a solid 3-dimensional shape, gliding smoothly into the room. None of my friends seemed to notice it, frozen in their mannequin stances. I wanted to scream, to yell at my friends to run, but I had to keep still. If I ruined the shot, Devin would be pissed. The shadow drew steadily nearer. I prayed Devin would shout, "Cut already." The putrid stench hit me first. A sickly, sweet, rotting smell like meat left in the sun. I fought the urge to gag. The shadow passed behind Devin, reaching out an elongated, misshapen hand. That's when I lost it. "Run!" I shrieked. "Get out, now!" Chaos erupted as my friends dropped their poses and scrambled toward the exit. I caught a glimpse of the shadow creature, tall, swaying with distorted limbs, as I sprinted for the door. We burst outside, gasping for fresh air. Jen was sobbing, Connor cursing. We kept running until we reached the main road. Only then did we stop to catch our breath. Devin looked back at the house, eyes wide. "What the hell happened in there?" he panted. "Like you didn't see it? The freaking shadow man 2 feet away from you!" I yelled, hands shaking. "Dude, I didn't see anything. We were all just standing there." None of them had seen the shadow figure, but the stench still filled my nose, making me gag. I struggled to explain it to them, the creeping shadow along the wall, the gnarled hand reaching for Devin, but they insisted there had been nothing there. "Let's just get out of here," Jen whimpered. Connor and Sam nodded, shooting uneasy glances back at the abandoned house. Devin sighed. "No mannequin video, but I did get some good footage. Maybe I can turn it into a found footage horror thing. Add some effects, freak people out." I blocked out his ramblings about YouTube hits and monetization. All I could see was that swaying shadow, beckoning me deeper into its crumbling mansion. Never again, I swore to myself, never again will I take another mannequin challenge. In the weeks after our failed mannequin challenge video, I became obsessed with finding out the history of that abandoned house. The image of the shadowy figure haunted my dreams at night. I had to know what it was. Some online searches revealed the house's address and the names of previous owners. I visited the local library and dug through the archives for any information I could find. Eventually, I pieced together the house's dark history. It was built in 1892 by a wealthy businessman named Elias Wentworth. He lived there with his wife and daughter. But after the stock market crash, the Wentworth family fortune was lost. In 1937, The house was converted into a sanitarium called the Willows Asylum. Some truly evil experiments took place there. Lobotomies, electric shock therapy, torture. Many patients died under the facility's cruel treatment. The asylum was shut down in the 1950s after numerous reports of abuse and unethical medical practices. It had sat abandoned ever since, becoming dilapidated and entrenched in urban legends. As I learned more, I became convinced the shadowy figure I saw was the ghost of a former asylum patient, trapped between this world and the next. Its rage at the cruelties inflicted must have kept it from finding peace even decades later. I decided to return to the house, this time in the daytime, hoping to make contact with the spirit and help it move on. I brought sage, candles, and other ceremonial tools with me. The shadow ghost appeared swiftly once I entered the parlor room. My heart froze in my chest, but I stood my ground. As calmly as I could, I told it that I knew what happened here, and I wanted to help it find freedom. The angry spirit resisted at first, but eventually the cleansing rituals and comforting words seemed to soothe it. As I lit the last candle, the shadow dispersed into wispy smoke until it was gone. I can only hope that poor soul has finally found some semblance of peace. I'll never know for sure, but at least I won't see its silhouette stalking those decaying asylum walls anymore. Though the house still gives me the chills, the ghost seems to be at rest. If you want to know what happened next, be sure to subscribe to my channel now. Also turn on the bell notification. Now over to you. Have you experienced ghosts before? Share with us in the comment section.